Welcome to Perfect Meals Chef video series, where today we're going to make a very favorite of mine, a butternut squash. So we're going to take our squashes, which are whole, we're going to slice them in half, and then we're going to scoop out the seeds. So we're going to lay about two fairly big ones. I have three because I got a big one and two small ones. And then we're going to take about a quarter cup of brown sugar. And to this we're going to mix about a tablespoon of cinnamon. Going to mix that up a little bit. Then we're going to take 1/4 pound or 1 stick of a butter. We're going to cut it into some cubes, and then we're going to basically just sprinkle everything over the halves of squash, and then we're going to put it in the oven at 400 degrees for about 25 minutes. So I'm just chunking the butter right into the squash. Not very scientific at it. And then we're just going to dust everything with our brown sugar and cinnamon. Again, you don't have to be very exact on it. And I'm just going to dash everything over the top a little bit more cinnamon because I like the flavor. And there we have it. That's our first stage, and we're going to scoop out all of the meat of the squash and go from there. So about 20 minutes in the oven at 400 degrees. We'll be right back. Alright, we've cooked our squash, and what we're going to try to do is be careful to preserve the juices, because that's a very good part of it. We're going to pour our juices into our stock pot first. And then we're going to scoop out the meat of the squash. And it should pretty much come out pretty easy. And all that you'll basically have left is the skin. So we're going to do that to our squash, and we'll be right back. Alright, we've got all of our squash out of the baked squash, and we're going to basically take, going to simmer it for about 15 minutes with about 3 cups of chicken stock. So we'll stir it gently as it's cooking. So we'll be back with that. As it's cooking, we're going to kind of use a potato masher to mash it. We're going to cook it for about 15 minutes. Once you get it kind of boiling, we turn it down to a medium kind of simmer. And you're going to simmer it kind of about 15 minutes until it pretty much cooks down and gets soft. Alright, it's kind of getting into a creamy consistency, which is what we want to get. We're going to add 2 cups of heavy whipping cream. We're going to continue to stir it, and we're going to cook it for about another 10 minutes. Don't worry if there's any chunks in it, because we're going to strain it through a wire strainer by the time we're done. So we're going to stir it up, let it cook pretty much on a simmer for about 10 more minutes. It's going to be great. Smells great too. You can see it's starting to get thick like a soup. We're going to turn it down a little bit more, but it should start to get a little bit creamy with this heavy whipping sauce. And what we're going to do next is, as soon as it's done, after about 10 minutes, we will stick it in our immersion blender or our food processor, and we're going to chop it up so that these chunks are gone, and then finally we'll put it through a wire strainer. So we're just about done, and then we're going to basically blend it through to get rid of the chunks next. In our next stage, what we're going to do is we're going to spoon some of it in with a ladle, and we're going to put it into an immersion blender and smooth out our soup. And what I'm going to do is transfer it into a crock pot. That's where I'm going to keep it warm. So it made this wonderful basically cream, and now we're going to take it and we're going to put it through a strainer to make sure that we don't have any chunks left. And then we'll do this again until we have our entire soup done. It'll be ready to serve right after that. All that we need to do is to put a little bit of marshmallow cream in the center of a bowl and spoon our soup over it hot. So we'll be right back with our final dish as we finish preparing this. Well, we're at my favorite part of the preparation process, and that is where we're about to eat it and assemble the dish. So we're going to take about a good ladle or two of soup. And this is a pretty rich soup, so we're going to take to our soup, we are going to add about 1 tablespoon of a marshmallow cream. Just like this from Kraft. And that's our dish. I'm going to top it with just a little sprinkle of cinnamon. And there we have it. Enjoy our roasted butternut squash soup.